go. So, hi everyone, angels. This is another team training call, 8:30ish on Monday night. And tonight I've got a little bit of housekeeping, and I've got a few isolated things to discuss. I don't know about you, but I'm actually feeling really good about my Juice Plus. I've actually today spent an hour and a half, it's actually longer than an hour and a half, with the likes of Nicole on a social media course. And it has blown me away, but in the wrong way. It's made me realize that social media stresses the life out of me, and I'm going to do what I can when I can. And I really am going to do Juice Plus, continue to do Juice Plus the way I did that got me to NMD and my success. So yes, we can always have more success, but as Simon Mitchell would say, you know, how much success do you want? There are a lot of NMDs out there who are doing absolutely massive amounts of volume and money coming in, but they're not necessarily enjoying the lifestyle. So I think we all need to just see what we want to do with Juice Plus, whether we want to earn $3,000 or $8,000 or $20,000 or $100,000. But remember, the bigger you get, even though you can delegate and have lots of people to help, it still is you're trying to help a lot of people. And our personalities are that you're not just going to sit back and not check on and see how your team's going. So between dinner and coming on the calls tonight, sorry, Brom was trying to ring me. Between dinner and I've promoted someone, I've done a post on Facebook, made a fuss of them, checked figures, because it just gets in your blood. So you do what you want when you want. But the point that I started this call off was saying, for those of you who didn't listen to the recorded call, I think we did last week, which talked about overwhelm, when none of us needs to be overwhelmed. And that's why I made this decision today for myself, that I wasn't going to get too caught up in social media. That doesn't really say I'm not going to use social media to do our posts and our communication. But for me, I'm going to do the good old talking to people I meet and just get myself out there more to meet new people. So what I want to do tonight was just a couple of things. On the call today, because the lady, Sam Lees, who's actually doing this social media course, because she is actually now a Juice Plus person, she was able to do a little bit on the compliancy with Omega, our Omegas. Now, for those of you, has anyone really had a look at all the documents and things and quite studied up on our new Omegas coming out? Raise your hands if you had. A few of you have a little bit. I have a little bit, but today, basically, just for housekeeping, I just want you to understand that because of the TGA, because the TGA isn't quite educated as yet about all the Omegas, we need to call our Omegas Omega Blend rather than actually document that there's 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. There are all those in there, and we've got all documents saying it's in there, but on the labeling, and when you're talking about it, that's absolutely fine. But I think you're going to, also you've got to win more support from your prospective customers if you just say Omega Blend, because life is too technical as it is. I mean, who was blown away by tomorrow's call? As much as it was interesting, if you're not interested in infertility, if you're not interested in becoming pregnant, worried about miscarriages, etc., it's actually a lot of big words and all that sort of thing. So our customers are mostly busy people who want to do the very best they can with their health, and they just want a little bit of a help along the way. Some of them will know way more than we do about health, and they're the ones who you might need to do some explaining to. But some of them actually have become to trust you now, and just to know that it's a vegan form of all the Omegas and it's going to be amazing for them is usually quite enough. So let's start calling it the Omega Blend. Is everyone aware that in it is pomegranate seed oil, raspberry seed oil, sea buckthorn berry oil, tomato seed oil, algal oil, and safflower seed oil? And apparently even the TGA equivalent in Italy is a little bit iffy about calling the tomato seed oil, they were saying on this call today. So it's not just Australia, even though we've got one of the most stringent TGAs, which we should be proud of. They really hold our Juice Plus in high esteem. You have to be pretty darn good to get through them. Okay, so here's another little tidbit that will really help you. I had a lovely message from a couple of people today saying that these calls really helped. So that's why I do record them and put them on our Hillary Manners YouTube. Did you know that there's some company approved images on our virtual office already for the Omegas? Did anyone not know that? Okay, so here's how you find them. You go into your virtual office, you go to quick links, go to forms and applications, and under resources, you'll see Omega blends. They've got all the approved images, you know, fish called Wanda and all sorts of things. Quite cute, some of them. So that should help in your marketing. And I think basically that the Omegas are on a plane as we speak. They were supposed to leave on the weekend, so I guess they're on the way now. So not sure when we'll get them, but it is very exciting. And I would say too, having been around for a long time, when we've introduced new things, like we've introduced, they weren't soft chews then, they were gummies, we've introduced Complete, we've introduced the Children's Health Study in my time. Don't panic, don't panic, almost let it happen organically. So a bit later on tonight, we're going to be talking about customer care. We need to get some verbiage about it. When you're making a call to someone, why would you waste telling them that there is something new coming or available that you started on that you're very excited about, and for what reasons? So you need to do a little bit of homework and education on what Omegas are and what they're good for and why you personally are taking them and why you prefer to take the Juice Plus ones as opposed to the ones which are from the actual fish oil. For probably all of you saw my post today about a tip to starting off your week well, and that is using that darn grid. When I do a post like that, hands up those of you who think I'm using a dirty word. Who uses the grid? Hands up who uses the grid.
Me.
Lucy, Liv, anyone else? Okay, Michelle. So can you honestly say, the others who are not using the grid, do you feel you have a really good system to constantly follow up, know where you're up to in your pursuit of people? Do you feel you've got a good system? Okay. Miranda's got something on her phone. Okay, I'm always fearful of losing something on my phone won't work or whatever. Okay. What I find with the grid, and without me being braggadocious, I've probably got one of the highest customer bases in the country and the highest levels of retention. When there's nothing worse than waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and someone comes to mind and you think, oh my God, I gave them information about 5 weeks ago and I forgot to follow up. And as Simon Mitchell said at the course Tanya and I did a couple of weeks ago, the fortune's in the close. It's not necessarily in the follow-up. So not only should I have followed up, I should have by then really had the close. I probably could have had the close a few weeks before. So it's probably going to be a little bit difficult, but I am I'm clean and spotless in my person and my house, but on paper I'm very, very messy. So for those of you who don't use the grid, does anyone not really understand how to use the grid? Can you just have a show of hands if you don't really know how to use the grid? So everyone knows they're naughty sitting in the corner and they just don't, or they choose not to. Now, of course, this is your business. You don't have to, but it really, really works, guys. And I want to show you. So I'm just going to start from like this month and go backwards. So you'll notice on my September 2017 one, not very many, is it? And there's no colours and there's no crosses on it. because I've got 2 people there. They're fairly new people I've spoken to, and I'm not yet prepared to cross them off because they haven't said no and they haven't said yes. But one of them I'm contacting in 3 weeks' time at her request, and the other one, I've actually got an appointment with him, supposed to be tomorrow. It is now next Tuesday, and that's all in my diary. So you might say, well, big deal. She's put them on her grid. Then we can go to, I usually do 1 a month, but last month I did, this was for July and August. So on the left here, you'll see one of my beautiful grandchildren got hold of Nanny's stamp and stamped all over it. So you can't really see, but I know what it says underneath. So when Nanny's not looking, she does terrible things. So on this, I have got, I was very fortunate last month. I got 7 new customers, and they're not even all on here. Some of them were referrals, so they weren't people I was actively, that I'd met at a barbecue, put on my grid, and I was actively following up. They were just referrals. So on this, you'll see that I've got someone in green and someone in blue. The green was someone who became a franchisee in July, and the blue was, it was a double order I got from someone. Now you'll notice that there's a lot of crossing out ones. They're the ones who have actually said no, and I've put it to bed. They're still my friends, kettle's on. They want to make me a friend, that's fine. But as far as Juice Plus is concerned, they pretty much said no, excuse me, at the moment. Now, you'll also notice that there's some of them that I've circled. Now, you can use your grid whichever way you want, but the idea of it is to, once you really are sure that someone says no, you just cross them off. You never have to worry about them again. But if they're not crossed off, they're still a possibility. Excuse me. And they're the ones, unless they've said not to, they're the ones you need to be inviting to events. So this is a great little format to know who you're going to contact for events. On here, I put at least 4 little red asterisks. The reason in my little lingo for this, I know this person, I won't say their surname, but Susan, I know that she's going through a tough time at the moment. I'm not giving up on her. She's been to an event with me. She's become a customer to try Juice Plus before she becomes a franchisee. I'm nurturing her and seeing if I can help her through any life difficulties she's going through at the moment. So that's someone, when I went through this today, preparing for tonight, because I haven't done a lot of grid work lately, and I thought, okay, Susan, I need to give her a call. Just a girlfriend call. That'll do for now. It's just a series of exposures to see if I can get her to be a VF. If not, along the line, I'll cross her off. There's another lady, Deb. Now, this is somewhere where I went and had a facial somewhere. It was a gift. And I was lucky enough to get another gift voucher from someone. So obviously I'm going to book, and I'm going to book that same lady because I really planted the seed about Juice Plus. I even went in and took her chocolates. It was such a good facial, and also took her some information on Juice Plus. So I'm going to try again. So she's obviously not crossed off. There's another lady who's been one of my franchisees for about 5 years. I know she's been through a funny time. In February, she emailed me and she said, not quite ready yet, but really want to step up soon. That was all the email said. So it is now September and I still haven't rung her. And there's a few reasons for that. So that's my little message. I know exactly what that's about. I need to ring her and see if she's ready to step up. But my new way of running my Juice Plus business is that I'm only really working with those people who really want it. And that's why I'm only doing coaching calls with people who are stepping up and want it. And anyone who rings me, they get my undivided attention. But I'm not ringing hundreds of people and checking they're okay all the time anymore. And I'm enjoying it a lot more. And so I can pretty much go back to July, August and see who I need to follow up on, who I could still invite to events. And then the one I'm working on in September, I've got a lot of work still to do. And it goes on and on. Then when I go back to this one in June, in June, that's terrible. This is a terrible example to show you. But guys, all I'm trying to say, and you're probably a lot neater than me, someone like Tanya would have this beautiful, it'll be all pink and pretty. I know that. But it works because I can go way back to August 2015. And I can look, and pretty much by now they're all crossed out, but then there's not. There's one there who's a friend of Craig's. We went to her wedding. I'm not giving up on her yet. And all I do with this girl is invite her to events. Sometimes she says, yes, she'll come, doesn't turn up. I'm just not quite prepared to let her go. How hard is it to send an SMS or a private message to invite her to something? So do you see what I mean? That's going right back to August the 15th, or August 2015. But there's a lot of no's on there. You have to speak to a lot of people to get some yeses. So does everyone understand the grid?
Can I ask something?
Yeah, please do.
Can I ask something? So with that, on that one that you've got the August 2015 and you've still got one person, couldn't you just put her on September's and then get rid of that piece of paper?
Yeah, I certainly could. What I do from time to time, Nicole.
It's so messy and you get so many bits of paper.
Well, I don't, because I have a bull clip on it and I just go on it. But here's what I do. About every 3, 4, 5 months, I get 2 pieces of paper. I get a piece of paper, 3 pieces. One is for PC prospects, and I go through all of them to see if there's anyone there I need to really still follow up and try and get them as a customer. Have no intention of getting them as a distributor. Then I have another thing going right back to what you're saying, August 2015, prospective VFs, and see if there's anyone. But then I also have a third piece, and I go right through all of them. And then if we've got a fantastic event coming up, I think, what have I got to lose? Some of these people who are sort of dangling at the moment, their circumstances might have changed. So why wouldn't I do the effort of inviting them to a big event? So yeah, quite right, Nicole. You certainly can, but you know, I don't want to go and put that one way back in August 2015. I could actually put it on this month. I could easily do that. Yeah, but I choose to do it a different way. It doesn't matter how you use the grid, but this works for me because no one has fallen through the system. Like, you know, many years ago, I used to have Notepad, and before I went NMD and I was just so excited on the way up, I would have a notepad and pencil on my bedside table, wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and think, oh, I've got to talk to such and such. So that excitement and passion was always there. So I at least need this to know where I'm going. Okay, so everyone understands the grid? Is anyone prepared to give it a go, unless they're happy with what they do? What about you, Michelle? Michelle Cross. You going to have a bash at the grid? Oops, she's... Sorry, I think we're playing unmute. Right, you've done it on a pad. Beautiful. Same deal. Beautiful. All right. It's just that so many people, when I say, you know, are you working your grid? They're not doing anything. And that Michelle Owen, she's hiding behind her photo tonight, so I'm not sure what she's doing. I'll chat her later on. Okay, the other thing I want to talk to you about tonight. Do you remember, particularly in our team, I really stressed to you that I don't want you overwhelmed, and I encourage you to be overwhelming in your personality. So I think some of us can get a little bit flat, so we're underwhelming. So we're not excited enough, we're not passionate enough, we're not hungry enough, we're not talkative enough, we're not everything enough. So I was a little bit disappointed because I was doing a coaching call with someone last week, as much as you can do exactly what you want in this team. There's no employer-employee thing. But sometimes when you've got someone like me and something's really worked, it sort of, to me, makes sense to actually try and do it. So I said to this person, they had really gotten quite a few new customers in the last few months, which was excellent. And I said, so how's your customer care going? And the person said, yeah, it's not bad. I said, okay, so all those customers you got this last month, have you sent their welcome letter out and sent them a bit of information and how to take and water and wind, fluff and gas? So this person said, no, I've stopped doing that. And that's perfectly okay. This is her business. What I want to say to you is that I have done excellent customer care for a long time, and it works. I get my fair share of cancellations, and incidentally, there's a few boo-boos at the office at the moment. Do not trust a cancellation notice. Ring your client, make sure that that's what they wanted. Half the time, no, we just wanted delayed, couldn't get hold of you. And I do get my share of cancellations, but with customer care, I'm one of those weird people, I don't know, but I actually enjoy it. I enjoy my customers. I enjoy chatting to them. I have sometimes when I have very little time and I scream through my next box calls and hope to hell it goes to message bank. I'm human after all. But what I'm trying to say to you is that if you were my brain, if you had nothing to do with Juice Plus, you'd met me at a barbecue and I had talked to you about Juice Plus and you said you'd like to try it and you trusted me and immediately placed your order. So I've placed your order. I don't just think, oh, well, I'm a lucky girl. I know that was a good score at a barbecue. Easy customer. I want you to know why you're taking Juice Plus, apart from my passion and excitement at the barbecue. So I straight away make sure that I send you an information pack, and it's just simply a brochure, and my couple of A4 things, why I'm taking and recommending Juice Plus, doctor, what vitamins should I take, and a few things like that. And then I also send them a welcome letter which explains the paying by installments, and it's chatty and nice and explains. And there's a few other things as well, the real benefits of Juice Plus. Do you not think I've got more a chance of keeping that customer and that customer feeling a bit special and looked after than someone who just, she orders, assumes her franchisee has ordered for her, this stuff arrives in the mail, yeah, it's got a little bit of instruction, and she does it, and then maybe that person might get a call to make sure she's received it, and then a while later she might get a call to see if she's drinking enough water and everything's going okay, but actually it's not because she didn't really get started taking it properly anyway and wasn't drinking enough water and was a bit constipated or the other way. So we are networkers, and part of our working is communicating and supporting and helping. So for those of you who do not do the mail outs or even email the stuff out, which I don't recommend because it's too easy to flick. I'm the best flicker of emails in the universe, I think. Too busy. But if someone posts me something, literally, guys, it costs me a few photocopy things, an envelope, a dollar stamp, and a little bit of caring. And then when I've done that welcome call, for them to turn around and receive a couple of weeks later after I've done call 2, the analogy where a neglected houseplant's not going to get better in a couple of days. It's going to take a while. And then they also get the table showing the CTR report, how all the important things that they need have gone up, etc., etc. So all I'm saying is whatever customer care you do, just try and do it as best you can. I'm just going to have a look at the chats at the moment. I've missed them. Yeah, Liv, whichever way you do it, I'm absolutely fine with. Miranda posts. It'll be a little bit different for my overseas customers. Yes, it will. And I would definitely be emailing it to your overseas customers, but it also depends. I would actually say to your overseas customers, if you're in Australia, I would send you this so you've got time to read it and enjoy it. But it's so important that I thought I'd email it to you at least. Yeah, so where was I? So customer care. So I was quite concerned. So has anyone got a really good, all right, we've already got a system. The company outside of Hillary Manners, company has got a great customer care procedure anyway. Do most of you actually use my customer care procedure and follow it? You call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Which the company actually gets you to do anyway. Sends you. Is everyone getting the emailed alerts suggesting you do? Because there was a hiccup for a while. Okay, so does anyone feel that their customer care is a good 7 or 8 out of 10? Post-sale customer care. For someone like Nicole, she's probably seeing a lot of her patients, her clients. So that's still good customer care. But I still would be handing them something to take home. So who would give themselves a 7 out of a 10? Yeah, we've got some. Who would give themselves a 2 out of a 10? Who's too embarrassed to say? Okay. The main thing when we have team trainings like this, the only thing I can do is encourage you to do something that has really worked for me. It's really nice when I get my check and a big percentage of it is from my customers. It's really, really nice to see. And also, the more customers you've got, you never ever have to worry about not qualifying. Even though you've got beautiful people who are at the lower levels who go towards your 1800 qualifying, customers are so important. Okay, so without me going right through customer care, are there any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions.
Well, Hillary, if you're on the phone doing your customer care and you wanted to mention the Omegas, so not sure if you're aware, but Juice Plus have just launched this amazing plant-based Omegas. I used to say full spectrum Omegas. That's how I've always sort of said it. I have occasionally listed the numbers, but I call it a full spectrum. I don't know. Is that how you would present it?
I would probably use, we're all different personalities, and I use the excited and passionate and can't wait for it to arrive. So I would be saying, I'm sure I haven't told you because it's only new, but I'm telling anyone who'll listen, we've got a brand new product coming out. I'm hoping mine's on the way. I can't even imagine all these years I've taken fish oil, and I knew there had to be something better because I worry about the heavy metals and things. We've got the most amazing Omega blend on the way. It's really affordable. I'll be sending a thing out to you in the mail with prices and things, but it's so exciting. As soon as I've got more information, I'll be in touch. So I'm not asking them if they want to order. I'm just preempting the excitement. So did everyone understand that?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And you don't want to come across as that expert because most of your customers aren't experts, and as soon as you start trying to be or pretending to be an expert, they'll want you to know more and more, and you can actually get yourself in quite a bind. I mean, I'm listening to Tamara's call there. I did a 4-year degree, nursing degree, and I know a lot as well, but it just blows me away what she knows. I am not an expert, but I care, and most people buy from me because they catch on to my passion and excitement, and I'll have what she's having. And I get plenty of no's, but that no doesn't mean no right then and there. And then, I'm not even sure yet. I might, for my customers, have a bit of a competition. The first 6 people to order Omegas, the Omega blend, will go into a draw and they'll get 60 sachets of Juice Plus Complete or whatever. I'm not sure yet. Just have to think outside the square and do things. And, you know, if you haven't got money to spend on your business, which I totally understand, all you've got to sell is yourself. Yourself, your belief in this new product coming out, your excitement, and just say, look, even in my limited note, I just understand that research can't be wrong on all our fruits and vegetables and things. And the new Omega Blend coming out, it's just made me feel so much better, because every time I go to buy fish oil at the health shop, I'm hesitant and I wonder the source and I worry about the heavy metals. And now I've got this brilliant company of mine bought out of vegan Omega Blend. No more worries for me. Can't wait to get on and get all my loved ones on it. So you just prattle on really with the excitement, if that helps.
On the Omega Blend topic, I've sent the clip to a couple of different people, but is there, when you're talking about the approved images and information under quick links, etc., is there a brochure there, or is there any actual like print information there that we can
I'm
send
pretty sure there's
to
a
our
document.
existing customers?
Yeah.
Okay,
in fact,
that's something that we can send.
Yeah, if you have a look on our page, it actually, there's a bit of a table showing you what's there. It was a couple of days ago, and you can't click on it, but it tells you to go to the virtual office, forms and applications, resources, and you'll find it there. I found it in 2 secs today. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm not sure, I know I got to Lucy the breakdown of the prices and all that on the NMD private Facebook group. We've got all the pricings and what you can make on it, etc. I don't know if that's been released yet, but I don't think it's any big deal to keep it from anyone. So if that's not on the virtual office, let me know and I'll get that to you. And just before I close tonight, I am pleading with some of you, all of you who can, this Success Summit. Gordon Hester is amazing. He is an analyst. He's Jeff Roberti's money man. He's just written a book. And I know a lot of you on here have already got your tickets, but please talk to me. If you're having trouble getting a ticket, please talk to me. And those of you who are wonderful sales coordinators and above, you're privileged to go to the one on the Friday night. And don't think that the one on the Friday night is going to be the same on the Saturday. Don't think you go to one and not the other. So what I'd like you to do, and all of you here are leaders and probably got people in your teams, can you please spend the next 24 hours absolutely hammering phones and messages and getting people to buy their tickets, please? Because it will be outstanding. When it's gone, it's gone. Okie doke. All right, well, you're all looking a little bit sleepy. I hope tonight's helped. Lovely to see you all. And yeah, if I don't see you, I'll see you on Friday and or Saturday. And in the meantime, you know where I am. Night, everyone.
Night. Thank you.
Night. Pleasure.
Thanks, Hill.
Pleasure.